wanted to have one in a lifetime kind of experience here, like get to really see how beautiful this place is, and we wanted to go and do something creative. Like that's why we're going on the boat and like going to explore all these fjords that nobody really ever goes to.
We kind of put all of our eggs in one basket and planned for a couple months to come out here and sail the fjords of Iceland and splitboard for the first time.
So I'm really looking forward to splitboarding, which I've never done before, and it's going to be definitely an experience.
My goals for this trip is to have a good time with my friends in this amazing country, leave a small footprint and educate myself on what this is about, what they do here.
It's our crew. It's pretty interesting setup we got here. It's myself, then Marie Francois, she's from Canada.
I love the knowledge that she has about ecology, and she's such a badass snowboarder. Kind of one of the girls that is pushing the forefront of backcountry riding, so I think she'll be able to have a lot of knowledge on this trip.
Sarka Pancochova is from Czech Republic. Her snowboarding is really inspiring to me, most of it because of her style, and also because she is probably the girls with the most tricks.
She's just a really cool girl that's like has no judgment in her and is just enjoying life.
Kjersti Buaas, when I think of her and her snowboarding, I think of style.
She's just this little ball of energy and she's just this little gnome that's just happy with blue eyes, and she's so cute.
And then Chanelle Sladics, which I travel pretty much all year with, and we snowboard together.
Chanelle snowboarding is inspiring to me because it's playful, and she will go 200% out of her way to make things a little bit better. You're here and she lifts it up to here.
And then we got Cindy Santini on the trip. She is a professional musician. She ends up on a couple trips here and there with us, raising money for ecological projects.
She's on this trip to experience Iceland and to play some shows there. And every time she picks up her guitar and starts singing, everybody goes quiet.
Yeah, I think it's pretty like funny how you can get when you put 5 girls together in a car or anywhere. 5 of these girls with just their personalities.
It's always fun to bring together a group of people to a totally new environment. It creates a lot of fun, unexpected things, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be the dream trip with the people you want to be at the same place, you know, and just travel around and in this wild Iceland zone, and definitely the crew to be with.
First day we arrived, we spent 2 days in Reykjavik, and I've heard a lot about the city. Never knew it was as small as it was, actually.
It was amazing to be in Reykjavik for 2 days. We went around the city and went up into the church, which has a view over the whole town. And we stayed at this beautiful hotel, the Iceland Marina Hotel, just on the harbor. And in front of it, there's a huge ship that they're painting, and that's just a scenery that's not common, you know.
I don't think anywhere else in the world has that kind of landscape. It's just so pure, and like the hot springs and the guys, it's like really nature, like at its best.
There's a lot of lava rock everywhere here, and that stands out to me because it's something you don't see everywhere.
This country runs off 99% renewable energy. I mean, it's the most ecological country in the world.
If you haven't been able to tell, it's freaking freezing down here. We're in the Arctic. I have 2 wetsuits on. Marie has one, some rashy layers, and maybe socks under these huge shoes. We basically are wearing flippers. The shoe size is twice the size of my feet. So it's gonna be worth it. Let's do it. Get her down. Girls are surfing right here. It's pretty cold, but we had a good entertainment as we were cleaning up. Yep. Awesome!
After a really long day of seeing geysers, seeing a huge waterfall, getting lost with the van, we came back to the city, and we had 20 minutes to get ready for Cindy's show. We show up at the Backpackers Hotel, and the guy that warms up for Cindy is there, plays a couple songs, and then Cindy's on, boom, and she just kills it right away.
It ended up being a dance party sing-along, and a few drinks were being put down, and it was a good time. Everyone was singing and dancing and having a lot of fun.
We got into it, and it was just fun to see like the Icelandic people like dancing and like being stoked, and yeah, we had a really good time.
One of the things we do on the road is we put photos on Instagram. Here's Sarka. She's a water god. It's the golden waterfall, and she's the god of it. And now we're heading west-south? West-southwest. Ow!
This morning.
Oh my god, I knew it! That's enough.
We decided to take the scenic route from Reykjavik to Ísafjordur, which is where we're sailing with the boat from. On the way, there was breathtaking moments everywhere, you know, like huge volcano to the right, glacier, ocean on the other sides, like big mountains just making us all go quiet.
It's like every corner was just like, whoa, look at that mountain meeting the ocean, or look at those horses, oh, look at the birds and the hot springs, and it was sick.
Marie is leading yoga for the first time of her life. I think this might be her first yoga time of her life. We're in the harbor. Just got here after a long drive from Reykjavik, and that's our boat right there. And we're gonna load all our stuff on. We got a lot of stuff, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be all cuddling in the boat.
So the majority of our land exploration has ended, and our ocean life has begun. We're heading out into the fjords that are only accessed through a sailboat. We don't really know what to expect at this point. We're hoping we're going to get the opportunity to go splitboarding up into some of the most amazing views we've ever seen. I can only imagine just seeing the glaciers on the drive, what it will be like to sail into these fjords, and it's really what we came here to do.
One of the first things the captain showed us was a map of the area he was going to take us to. So he did a little introduction of all the fjords there and the landscape and what it would look like and what it would be like. So the whole area up there is called Hornstrandir, and nobody has lived there for the last 50 years.
When we pulled into that fjord that night, it was like 10, 11, 12 at night. The sun was still super strong. We could see all the lines. I was like, one of those moments where you almost want to cry. You're like, this is one of the best moments of my life. And that's what I felt. I really feel like that day was one of the best days of my life.
Let's go. Ow! Ow! Thank you, Siggy. Thank you, Siggy. Thank you. Yeah. Everybody. Come get on.
The first day I woke up on the boat, all around it was huge mountains and nobody to see.
We wake up, it's nice and sunny out. We decided that we're gonna take kayaks out. We're gonna paddle to the land, hike our line, and then ride it back down, get back on the kayaks and get back to the boat. That was the mission.
This was my first splitboarding experience ever. I am used to the movement from cross-country skiing, but at the same time I was not used to like setting it up, so I had to take some time, figure out everything, getting the skins put on properly, you know, putting the bindings on right. I did it wrong a couple of times.
Don't feed me to these wolves. Oh my Lord, I feel you now.
It is so awesome, like taking your board apart, putting the skins on, moving your binding setup. I mean, it definitely takes time. And by the time you get to the top, you feel like you really earn that run. More than, you know, obviously a chairlift or a snowmobile or a heli. There's just something special about it just being you and your equipment and your own motivation to go where you want to go.
Yeah, basically just kind of climbed a lot of rocks and yeah, made it up to the top of the mountain and picked a few lines up there. And this day we had beautiful weather, sunny and warm. I was hiking in my first layer and a really cool day.
Always, I caught you alone in the back streets west of Rio. Hold me back, my dearest friends. See me at the back door, yeah. Caught you at the scene of crime.
It was an awesome moment because I've done only a couple lines in my life. And it was awesome to have the fjord in the background, have the sailboat / our house in the background, have my friends down at the bottom in kayaks. It was like, really? Okay, thank you. So something that tends to come up on most trips is, you know, 1, the weather, 2, the snow conditions, 3, really having to get creative with what you have because it's more limited than you expected. You know, that played a role in this trip as well. We're out here in the spring, we hadn't got a storm. We ended up, you know, playing around on the grass for, you know, an hour or two one day, and then another day dropping a little waterfall or, you know, hiking a smaller line than we'd like to because that was the only option for the visibility.
We knew it was going to be challenging snow conditions. Basically, we were all going for the bigger adventure, to step on board on a sailboat, hike in nature that's unknown to us and challenge ourselves and that's a part of the snowboarding that I haven't experienced that much. So I'm really happy that I'm getting to do that in such a beautiful place like Iceland.
Well, there's always pranks, you know. We gotta do at least one good prank a trip.
So, one of my favorite things about being with these ladies is you constantly have to be on your toes. You never know when you're gonna get pranked. And in my defense, I was really tired. And I had already decided it was really convenient, I guess, for this prank that I wanted to have an egg this morning. And I get in there and they're like, we're all smashing the eggs on our head. And you know, that's the way you have to eat your egg if you're gonna eat an egg today. And I was like, oh, I've done that before, it is kind of fun. So I'm gonna do that. So I grabbed the egg and while Sarka is explaining how to do it, I'm just like, whatever, and and it was a raw egg.
I'm so glad I have to get my
We pranked her, but she did it herself, which was the best option. Best scenario so far.
Yeah, that wasn't the funnest way to wake up, but kudos to you guys, you got me.
In the West Fjords of Iceland, there's a lot of abandoned villages that nobody has lived in for the last 50 years. So it's pretty interesting to go walk around amongst the houses and peek into the windows and just see old history, I guess.
You could really feel the time and the way like they live, like you could still see that when you're visiting those little places. It was really cool.
Only tin and plastic, speaking in static in this room.
So one day we decided that we are gonna cross over the fjord, which was one of the coolest experiences of the trip. That all our crew, we just splitboarded up the mountain on the top of the hill, and then you drop on the other side and you ride totally different terrain than you were hiking up. It's just such a cool adventure. You don't even know what is on the other side. You don't know if it's cliffs or if it's gonna be a cool line. And then the boat's gonna pick us up on the other side. It was magic.
After like 3 hours of hiking up, it feels like the best reward to put your board on, put everything back together and get that rundown that you actually earned.
I'm only chemical equations fabricated while playing house. We're girls and boys, broken like toys. Don't throw me back.
Johnny, you'll copy all you one day. Basically, we came into this adventure like doing something that was never done before. Yes, we could have came here and like arranged snowmobiles maybe, but that's not what it was all about. Like we wanted to be splitboarding, kayaking, and really taking full advantage of what this country has to offer, pretty much. And I think we did a really good job of that.
This is our home.
Yay, home! It's really cool that we brought Cindy aboard on this trip. Usually it's all really like, you know, snowboarders oriented, but we wanted to bring a friend that was maybe bringing a different touch, like, you know, have that different vibe, and like, it's been really amazing.
Yeah, it's always an adventure with these girls, and coming as a musician, it's really intriguing to watch these women at work. They're amazing athletes.
This trip has been one of the best trips of my life, by far. And I kind of expected that, but I knew it would happen just because it's so rad here.
Having all these kind of adventures, we're gonna do more of those for sure.
You get like a different perspective on it all when you get out in nature and you get to spend a little more consistent time with the peace, with the silence.
If I never came on this trip, I would have missed out on like opening this whole new chapter in my life of like going out away from the world, you know, that's so beautiful, but it moves so fast and there's so much noise, and to go out away from the noise, away from the cell service and the emails and the structure, and just be in nature completely immersed and not see anyone but one Arctic fox. It was incredible.
It was the dream team, you know. We had so much fun and we were just sailing the boat, and then we were, you know, we just had the best time of our lives. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-dum.